Well, they ain't scared of the garage. We're in the middle of this mess. I'll show you what I did. Stand by. Now this poor old truck has been hit so dang on many times that the cab just isn't straight. So what I did was I spent all day yesterday lining this up, and you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it, but this line here is almost perfect. The line across here, I'm hoping you can see all this, is almost perfect. And the line down here is almost perfect. And I said almost because it's definitely more narrow here than it is here, but only by a little bit. So I hope you can see that. But when we get down here, it gets crazy. Right about here, all of a sudden it's really close. And I noticed you probably can't pick it up on the camera, but this is bent in. It really is. So yeah, so it doesn't fit. You see how close is this right here? It shouldn't be that close. I mean, I realize it's coming backwards, but not by that much. So we're gonna fix this today. After getting all this adjusted, this door shuts perfect every time. I wish the left door was that way, but it's not. Now, mind you, this is the old weather stripping in here, so, you know, when I put the new weather stripping in, I don't know what it's gonna do, but the way this is shutting, I don't think it's gonna be a big problem. The other door is gonna need to be adjusted too, I think is what the deal is, because yeah, it's hard to shut, but it's got the new weather stripping on it. But I hate to do this. This stuff's all gotta come off, that paint's gotta come off so I can get a good weld. It is what it is. We're gonna fix this mess down here too. All right, got my flapperdoodle here. Fire it up. See, this is old and wore out. That's because I don't want to take any metal off if it's possible. So I'm using this old wore out one here to do this. Okay, I don't remember putting in this much mud, but boy, I sure did. I should refix the whole thing, but I'm not gonna. It's not so much that it'll crack out, but wow, what a mess. Mind you, this is one of the first jobs I ever did. This was also before I started making my own panels. I bought this panel to go in here, and just like I saw, like Fitzy and all the people say, it just didn't fit. So I made it fit. It looks good, but it's not exactly right. I wonder how far back that crap goes. It looks pretty bad. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. This is just skim here. This is just skim. This was way too thick. All right. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with this. I gotta figure this out. I was looking at the other side, and this piece here needs to come all the way up here to the end. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced this has been hit and repaired, and then it's still rusted out because they didn't put anything in it. But yeah, we gotta build a piece onto here in order for it to look right. Piece of metal here. Let's clean it off. All right, it has to match this bend here. Bend that like that. Now it should be perfect. It actually is. It goes right there, and then you get the right, then it's the proper thing. Now, I need to round this in here so it goes in there. And this has to come out. See just how far. Oh boy, that's just about okay. All right, okay. Was hot under that mask. Now, take this here. These are not welding gloves. I got them over there. I think I'll be all right. I'll put that right there. I want to go right like that. Tack that on like that. Definitely not welding gloves. Okay, so that's on. We'll finish welding it on. Yeah. Right. That. Okay. Need to come underneath of it too. And for the time being, it's a start. So after cutting and welding and welding and cutting and welding and cutting and welding, just to make that little bitty piece on the end, I get up under the truck and I find out that it's not looking good. We're going to have to do a lot of work on this. So here we go. This got ugly. Yeah, it did. I had to get in here and cut this whole piece out of here because it looked like a mess under there, and till I pull this piece out of here, I can't really see what I got to do. I gotta rebuild this piece under here because there's just nothing there. It's gone. I should have noticed this the last time and I didn't. My glasses, dang it, there they are. Should have noticed this last time. Look at all this welding in here. Told you this thing's been repaired before. It don't look like very well. All right, we can rebuild this piece before we can do anything. Well, I'm gonna cut that piece out of there. You all know dang well I don't want to cut that corner out of there. This is a mess. Yep. I wanted to keep all that for a pattern, but it's a mess. That's what it looks like on the inside. This piece of channel, or whatever the heck it is, I guarantee you wasn't put in by Ford. Wow. Yep. Somebody did a real crappy job on this. Yeah, they did. Still more junk in here. Last time I cleaned all this junk out and there's still more in it. Dang foam here. Let me show you why his cap corners rust out. That's it right there. This is the foam that Ford puts in there to keep everything quiet. It's waterproof for a while. And when it gets old, it's not waterproof anymore. Instead of repelling water, it sucks it up and then just leaves it in there. And I'm assuming it should be one piece, not two. That would go right here. That's so. All right, we've got to make an inner panel. Go on here. This is going to be a quick video of just making a cut here and tapping it down and welding it. Well, Not so much. I really am going to change the name of the Snowball Garage. Day 2 of this snowball effect. So, yesterday, kind of got aggravated. Didn't get a lot of filming, but I sort of finished the end of this. Only sort of. It's still going to need, it's going to need some putty to make it right, but it won't take much. This is where it should be. At least it's darn close. Because there's the edge. And it should be right there at the edge. So I got to weld that and put something. I don't think I really have to put anything in the end, but I probably will. Just to kind of finish it off. And because this piece actually, the original piece comes like this and then drops in and then goes down here. And that's what the cab corner goes around and connects on the bottom too. But I had to cut this piece out because when I got in here, you know, I found, when I got in here, I found this is what was inside of it. I mean, you know, it's a mess. It was, this was repaired at one time. That explains why this is out of whack, because I don't think it was rust repair. I think it was an accident repair. So we're gonna fix this. But first thing I gotta do is build this inside one. This piece here is actually here to, and if I figure out how it goes again, it goes like this here, and it goes in here to hold this piece on at the bottom. Because the cab corner is gonna come in here and it has to be attached to the bottom. I sort of half-assed attached it, but I didn't have much to work with the last time. So now I'm gonna make this so that it will fit correctly. Now, theoretically, this should be here. Theoretically, nothing. I can see how the original one is. Yeah. Yep, this should be right here. And it should be connected to that. So I gotta figure out how to make that. See, this is part of the inner one. We'll make it so I can weld it to that. And then bring it down there so that it fits right, so that we can adjust that right. But I am actually gonna put a piece in here. I'm gonna weld this edge, because this could be further back than it is without affecting the look. You know, now I look at it, once I put this here, and I see that I'm right at the edge. This is where, so this is where the cab corner is going to be. So it needs to go back just a little bit. Well, I think the first thing I got to do is do a little grinding. I want to bring that back with the grinder. Yeah. And I think I'm ready to change that. Wow. Anyway, let me take this one here. Okay. It's hot out here. I save these little chunks because you never know when you need it for something like this. So to make this little cap, I'm just going to trace the outside of this for a basic idea of how to shape this. Come around like that. Huh. And that's just a basic shape. It's going to have to be less than that. So I'm going to cut inside of that line. Grab this junky piece of horrible freight. 10 millimeters. A little tighter. There. Hopefully that'll do it. That's going to do it. Yeah, this is going to do it. All right. and blowing holes. Yep. We can fix that. What I'm doing is pulsing the welder here so that I'm putting a little bit of metal back into this thin metal here that's just blowing holes. If you put a little metal into it by pulsing it, because it doesn't get really hot, then after you get some metal in it, then you can actually weld it. Now mind you, this is totally not how this was made from Ford, but it didn't have a cap there, it was just one whole piece. But I'm putting a cap there. It just helps me to get the edge I want here. That's going to do it. Just have to cut it right there, that's all. Now let's cut that tab off of there. Now we have to build this piece. We know it's got to be inside of this, but down, because it has to, let's see, and the piece should have, it should come down here, straight down, and curve just like that. That's probably, definitely not going to be long enough. It's got to go in so that I can attach the bottom of this to there. I'm going to go find another piece of scrap. I'm running out of little scraps, and I really don't want to cut the big ones because I want to make that roll pan one of these days. We'll get to this later. This is the important part right now. Once this is made, we're going to fix the gap, and then we'll put the piece on the outside. But that's good now. Yep, right at the edge of the door. Nothing wrong with that. That's perfect. If this looks familiar to you, yeah, this is an old dryer. Metal is metal. This metal here is thicker than this metal here. So this is even better metal. And got a powder coating on it. Keeps it from rusting. Now, a lot of the powder coating burns off, but a lot of it stays on. So it actually gives you a nice, a little bit of protection. All right, let's see what we got to do here. Now, I'm going to need a piece. Use that line right there, like that. And I'm going to need a piece. I'm going to make it this long. That makes it a little bigger. I'm always looking for, curves that you can use. That curve is usable. And it's an actual curve. It's the same from here down. I just have to bend it over this way a little bit. So let's change gears. So that old Whirlpool dryer must have had parts made by Ford. That's probably why I broke down. I mean, I didn't say that. You know I did. Bottom's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yep. Couldn't be any better. All right, we need to do some more cutting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think this will work. It's crappy. Horrible freight pliers. Get that there. That's not even. Now it seems to be. Now we got to bend like that. And it needs more. Yeah, it didn't quite do it. Nope. Okay. All right, flatten that bag out. bend has to be right on the edge. Okay, I think the rest of it we can work on out there. All right, now that seems to come back where I want it. I gotta put another bend in it. I gotta cut the top off it. Let's cut this again about here. I should have a better measurement. I'm not really wasting this metal because you saw how I used that small piece. Well, these little pieces I'm gonna hold on because I'll use them later. All right, goes right there. Huh? Okay. All right, here's what I can do. There's my, yeah, that'll work. There. There, so I use the body as a dolly. That's not recommendable, but it works. I got the shape I want. Now, rid of those things. With that, I can put this up in here, right about there, and then I'll have to reshape everything. This has to go in. Yeah, it does. It's got to be up against that. Let's do a little cutting. That's going to go there, and that cab corner is going to attach right to it. I need to take that bend out just a little bit there. I'm going to just go. And that's going to weld right to there. Yeah, it is. That's going to be right where I want it. That's going to be perfect. Yep. It's not going to be attached to this, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. As long as I can attach on the bottom. Like I said, this isn't quite how it was originally done because this would have had another bend in it, so it's out here and then turned in for this. But it doesn't need this because it's going to be attached, plug welded through on the bottom. So that's not really needed. And by leaving this gap, we don't have a place for water to build in. I'm going to put that right there. That's ready to go on. Yeah, sure is. Go right here. That's what I want. Okay. I'm going to attach to that a little bit. Maybe on the bottom. Actually, that sucker is perfect. It is. There's a line there. Beautiful. For my piece to go in there. Yeah, it is. I'll have to weld, I've got to grind that down, but yeah. I'm not worried about this. Once I weld that in there good, we'll be good to go. What I'm trying to do is start my weld on the old metal. I mean on the new metal. This stuff here is really thick. and then go into the old metal so we don't blow a hole.
All right. Looking good. Take a cool minute. I want to finish it out. I just want to make sure it's in there for good. Well, it looks a whole lot better than the other one. Might still have to do some metal banging here. I think this end has to go in, but that's okay. Once it's welded on there, we can pound on it. But that's going to do it. You probably wonder, well, why didn't I fix it the first time? The first thing I ever did welding was the floors in the 65 Mustang. They're in, they're solid. They're not pretty, but they're hidden under carpet. This was the second thing I did fixing rust on metal. I didn't know a whole lot. I still don't know a whole lot, but I know more than I knew then. So now I know what to look for. And when I started cutting in there, I was like, oh my God, look at that mess. And that's why it didn't get fixed the first time, but it's going to get fixed this time. This is another piece here. Yep. There's a lot more pieces in here than what they had in here, that's for sure. I don't think I really need to put a piece in here. Nope, I don't think I'm going to. I'll put it right there and weld this to it, which will make that even stronger. Okay. That was a good idea. Thanks. Doesn't bring it down to there. Put it right there. All right, this whole project started right here. The other day I fought this door, and I got it all lined like I showed you. All lined, just right, close to right anyway. Except for this line, even though it is decreasing, when you get to here, it just closes right up. And that's because this is bent. So, we're gonna try to fix that. We're gonna have to cut down here and move it in. Well, here there's nothing. I almost don't want to do this. But it should be fine. Yeah, what a mess. Now, I can open that up like that. Yep, sure can. That will be perfect. It won't need any more than that. Yep. Might have to beat on that one a little bit, but that's okay. Yep. All right. So now what we gotta do is weld it back together. Hope we don't blow holes. There. There. Okay, so Labor Day weekend. It's now Labor Day. I've been working on this thing all weekend, and we're going to call that it for this one. Next week we'll come back and finish this job. Meanwhile, I'm going to shoot it with some paint just so it don't rust. Till then, see ya.